What is the best Eastern European cartoon?
Oh, that's really hard to choose. The first thing that came to my mind is The Little Mole. It's from the Czech Republic by Zdeněk Miller, and he just recently died, I think a year ago. But that cartoon, I think, really works all around the world because it doesn't really have speaking. The animals have just little tiny sounds, but it's verbal, so they don't really say actual words. As far as I know, it was recorded by the creator with their children, I think, and they pitched it up higher. I had a really funny experiment in the US when I played it to my manager's daughters, who were about the age of like 5 or so, and I showed them, and it was like really different of what the cartoons they used to watch. And the first reaction was they got actually scared of it a bit. They were hiding behind the couch, but after a while they got really hooked on it. They just couldn't get the eyes off the screen, and later on I heard that they are really hooked on it, and they just love it. They watch it every day, and I had to get them all the DVDs available. So they turned to be fans.
What does this tell you?
That if we take time to adjust to each other's culture, then maybe we can get a feel of it, and not just like have an instant reaction on it if it's totally different of what I'm used to, but maybe that's a good thing. So if you dive into it a bit more, if you let yourself more opportunity to get used to a certain thing, then you might end up with a nice surprise.
What do you like about cartoons?
Cartoons. It goes back so much to my early childhood when I wasn't really thinking of reasons why I do things or why I do like things, but as long as I remember, I always loved them. I loved comics, cartoons, all kinds of things, and also I was drawing a lot myself when I was a kid. And I'm actually watching a lot of cartoons these days as well. I'm a big fan of like Seth MacFarlane's cartoons, for instance.
So for you, are there similarities between the music you make and the cartoons, or are it two separated worlds for you?
I don't think there is a direct connection between the two things, but it definitely defines a bit in subconscious level. So I think I couldn't separate it from the person who I am.
I read somewhere that your music teacher, that she didn't think you were that good in music. Can you tell the story? What did she like about the way you experience music?
Actually, this wasn't really a music teacher. It was more a school choir thing. With the very early age, I was about like I think 8 or 10 years old, and I wasn't really into the idea of going to this choir. But my parents thought like it's a good thing for me to try because it's so different of how I am. And first I was really afraid on those choir lessons, but after a while I got used to it. I got used to the other children and the whole thing. Actually, I found it really entertaining and like a freeing thing to be surrounded with other people and singing together. And I got the bravery after some months to sing along. But when we had the first bigger show in one of the school days or important days in life of the school, before the show, the teacher came to me and told me like I should only like move my mouth, but not sing actually. And that was a really shocking experience for me because then I thought like, okay, then why am I here?
And have you ever spoken to her about it afterwards?
No, I was too young at that time.
No, but maybe now, once you're well known in Hungary, because of your music, maybe you bumped into her and spoke to her.
No, I didn't actually. Yeah. But it's not like it's more like a funny memory to me, so it's not a bad one. Also, I read with like several other musicians and composers that at a very young age they were not very good in music, or they were called like clot-eared. For instance, Michael Nyman from England, famous composer, also was called clot-eared or wasn't very good at music teacher.
But in retrospect, do you agree with what he said?
As I think back, maybe I wasn't very enthusiastic about the whole thing. So I was more like feeling like this is a must that I have to do. So I can agree that I was not the best member of the choir.